You win a promotion, nail a project, hear someone call you brilliant, and instead of pride, a cold knot twists in your chest. You smile, nod, but inside, you're braced for the moment they see through you. You're not that good, you think. You've fooled them all, soon they'll know. This is imposter syndrome, not just doubt, but a deep certainty you're a fraud, hiding behind a borrowed veil that's about to rip. You tell yourself it's irrational, try to shake it off, but it clings, tainting every success with dread. Why does praise feel like a trap? There's a deeper truth here, one you're closer to than you think. Here's the raw truth. You're not scared of failing, you're scared of being seen, not as a failure, but as the person you secretly believe you are, unworthy, inadequate, a pretender. Toni Morrison, whose words changed the world, admitted she sat down to write, thought, who do you think you are? If someone like Morrison felt this, what hope do you have? Every hope. You think it's about your skills, but it's not. It's about a hidden spark in your psyche, one you've buried, convinced it proves you're not enough. You don't want to be exposed, you want to be whole. Keep listening, I'll show you how to start. You try to fix it, pile on achievements, whisper affirmations, work late to prove you're not a fake. You think, if I just do more, be more, I'll feel legitimate. That's the trap. The dread doesn't budge, it sharpens. Why? Because the problem isn't out there, their expectations, their applause, it's in you, not your competence, but the part of you that refuses to claim it. If you've ever wondered, why do I feel like a fraud? Why can't I trust my worth? Like this video. If you crave a peace so steady, no doubt can crack it, subscribe. This isn't about silencing fear, it's about meeting your truth. There's a way forward, I promise. Imposter syndrome isn't a flaw, it's a signal, lighting up a wound you've kept in the dark. Alice Walker wrote, the most common way people give up their power is by thinking they don't have any. When you feel like an imposter, it's not because you're incapable, it's because you've disowned your strength. Their praise stings because it clashes with a belief you've carried, maybe since childhood, you're not enough. A teacher's sharp words, a parent's distracted glance, a moment you learned your value hinged on perfection. That's not their fault now, it's your psyche, calling you to reclaim what's yours. Let me tell you about a designer who faced this. Her story might surprise you. Why does this grip you? Your brain's wired to protect you, but it's also a storyteller, weaving narratives from old wounds. The prefrontal cortex flags every slip, a typo, a stumble, spins it into proof you're out of place. Add a culture obsessed with perfection, social media glowing with curated brilliance, LinkedIn humming with flawless hustle, you're left measuring yourself against an impossible ideal. A study in the Journal of Social and Clinical Psychology shows women, people of color, other marginalized groups often feel this more. Societal biases demanding they prove their place twice over. It's like holding a mirror that only shows your cracks, never your light, but there's a way to shift that mirror. This isn't just a thought, it's a force shaping your life. You dodge risks, terrified failure will confirm you're a fraud. You overwork, perfecting every detail, chasing validation that slips away. It's exhausting, like standing in a storm, clutching a veil that's unraveling. Rollo May, who explored human courage, said, the opposite of courage is not cowardice, it's conformity. You conform to a story saying you're not enough, hiding your true self to avoid exposure. That designer I mentioned, newly promoted, she dreaded meetings, certain her ideas would reveal her inadequacy. She stood there, trembling, unsure what would happen next. You're not alone in this. Imposter syndrome isn't your private burden, it's a human echo resonating through countless lives. Coders, teachers, artists, CEOs, many feel this weight, silently asking, do I belong? Picture a vast hall, filled with people, each wondering if they're enough. You're not defective, you're part of a quiet chorus. That professor I knew, she felt like a fake in her lecture hall. Then a colleague confessed the same fear. It was like a door cracked open, letting in light. She wasn't mocked, she was, well, you'll see. Knowing others share this doesn't erase doubt, but it softens it. There's more to her story. You can't outrun imposter syndrome by piling on wins. That's like pouring water into a cracked cup, it leaks. Instead, pause, look at the doubt, not with shame, but with curiosity, like you'd study a map. R.D. Laying, a bold voice in psychology, said, "The range of what we think and do is limited by what we fail to notice." Notice the thought, "I'm a fraud." Don't fight it. Ask, "What's this guarding? Where did it begin?" Maybe it's shielding a younger you, one who felt unseen. This isn't failure. It's untangling the threads of your fear. A client said naming her imposter syndrome was like finding a loose knot. It didn't unravel everything, but it gave her a place to start. I'll share how she moved forward. What does this look like? Small, deliberate acts, like gathering stones to mark a path. Grab a notebook, any scrap, write one thing you did well today, a task you nailed, a kindness you offered, a moment you showed up. Don't force pride, let it sit, a quiet truth. Psychologists call this evidence-based self-assessment, but it's collecting sparks to kindle your confidence. Say to yourself, "I'm not perfect, I'm growing." That chef I worked with, he started noting daily wins, a perfect dish, a happy customer. Over months, he began to trust his craft. His story shows what's possible. Each spark builds a fire, warming the place where your worth waits. Your mind's been telling a story, "I'm not enough," but you're the author. Stories can change. Instead of, "I got lucky," try, "I earned this through effort." Instead of, "They'll see I'm faking," say, "I'm learning." That's human. Cognitive behavioral therapy, backed by the American Psychological Association, shows this reframing rewires your brain, not instantly, but like tuning a guitar, note by note. That marketer I knew, she feared her pitches would expose her flaws. She started saying, "My ideas are a work in progress," stood before her team, heart racing. What happened next changed her. Each new thought is a thread, weaving a truer story. You're not a fraud, you're becoming. Impostor syndrome thrives in silence, feeding on isolation, but connection cuts through it like light through a veil. Share a piece of your doubt, a friend, a mentor, a colleague. Just say, "I sometimes feel like I don't belong." Carl Rogers, a pioneer of connection, said, "What is most personal is most universal." Their response, their nod, their story grounds you. That nurse I worked with, she admitted to her team she felt like a fraud. Their confessions wove a net. Catching her fall, she found something unexpected. I'll tell you what. One conversation, one honest moment can shift the weight. Your place is real. Sometimes, doubt runs deeper, too heavy for small steps or kind words. That's when you call a guide. A therapist can trace the roots of your imposter feelings, using tools like CBT to challenge the fraud narrative. For some, medications like SSRIs ease anxiety, fueling self-doubt, creating space to heal. The National Institute of Mental Health notes combining therapy, support is the strongest path for persistent imposter syndrome, especially when tied to anxiety. That teacher I worked with, she found therapy transformed her fear of being found out into quiet confidence. Her journey shows what's possible. Seeking help isn't surrender, it's choosing to claim your truth. Here's the heart of it. You are not your doubts, your titles, your stumbles. You are enough. Not because of what you've done, but because you exist. Audre Lorde wrote, "If I didn't define myself for myself, I would be crunched into other people's fantasies for me." Imposter syndrome says you must prove your worth. It's a lie. You belong, with all your flaws, all your fire. Every time you show up, to a challenge, a dream, a moment, you're defining yourself. That sculptor, she shared her art, trembling, sure she'd be mocked. She wasn't. She was seen. Her story ends with light. You are enough. Every step proves it, not to them, to you. Doubt won't vanish like a curtain parting. It might linger, a soft whisper when you reach for something bold, a new role, a daring idea, but you can carry it lightly, like a stone smoothed by a river. May Sarton said, "We have to dare to be ourselves, however frightening or strange that self may prove to be. Each choice to act, to speak, to try, builds a path to authenticity." That designer, her brand launched, fears fading with each sale, each client. She trusted her vision, her light grew. You're not chasing a flawless self. You're becoming weaving a life that's yours, one courageous step at a time. You don't need to silence every fear today. You don't need to feel unshakable. Just stand here with your questions, your strength. Know you're whole. Imposter syndrome wants you to hide, to wear the veil forever, but you're more. You're the one who keeps showing up, keeps building, keeps daring to be seen. Bell Hooks wrote, "To be truly visionary, we have to root our imagination in our concrete reality while imagining possibilities beyond it." So let me ask, just between us, what's one moment you faced doubt, chose yourself anyway? The answer's in you, in the courage to be, to trust, to shine. You're not a fraud, you're a truth, unfolding, ready to light the world.